Hey guys, welcome to the first video in a series of videos about Q4. Q4 is easily the time where we can make the most money in our Etsy shops, and this series is going to be intended to get us all ready to make those sales. Q4 is October, November, and December. And to get this Q4 party started, we are going to be talking about Halloween. Halloween sales have already begun, but they're going to hit their prime in September and October. So they'll really be kicking us off with some of those Q4 sales. If you're new around here, hi, I'm simply Shawna, and on this channel we talk all about entrepreneurship, specifically how I've built my Etsy business into a six-figure business and quit my full-time teaching job. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then you'll want to subscribe and stick around. In this video, we're going to be covering how to prepare for Halloween, the first big player up in Q4. We do love Halloween around here. My little Tucker and I usually dress up in some matching costumes. So I may be including a picture here and there throughout this video of Mr. Tuck Tuck dressed up. And guys, don't take my word for it. This really is worth preparing for and worth seeing through. Here are the results from last year. My entire revenue was $422,300 for the entire year. And then you see as we go into Q4, the huge spike as we come into November. And in November alone, I made just about a fourth of the money that I made the entire year. And if you add October, November, and December up, I easily doubled the money that I made for the entire year just in those 3 months. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the good stuff. You're going to know what you need to do when you pop out at the end of this video. We are going to sit down, we're going to do the market research so you know why I'm making the decisions I'm making and designing in the direction that I'm designing. I'm going to show you how I'm going to niche down so that I'm not doing just a broad Halloween shirt. That's never where I work. I never work in just a broad place like that. I always niche down. We're going to do that together right now. I'm going to show you why I'm making the decisions with design that I'm making. Then we're going to hop on to Kittl and we're going to create 2 designs. You can use other apps for your designing needs. With Kittl, I am going to show you one kind of template hack that I use to get things out quickly. And then I'm going to show you how to do one that I'm going to do from scratch. Both are going to be niched down designs that I can scale and quickly get lots of listings from, targeted at different people within the same niche. I'll also go ahead and make the designs that we come up with together today available as a free download. You can get to that through the description, but I would suggest going ahead and taking the ideas that we come up with and applying the designs to a different niche. Because you have to imagine that if a couple thousand people watch this video and a certain percentage of people go and grab the designs and use just as is, then you've got a bunch of things that look exactly the same. You never want to do that. So you'd want to target a different market than the one we're going to target together right now. Every design decision we make today is going to be based off of market research, which is really easy to do. So let's get to it. Here we are on Etsy and we're going to do our market research. I'm staying very broad and I'm putting Halloween shirt in the search bar. And you can see all of these phrases that Etsy is auto-populating. I notice Halloween shirt teacher is there. That means these are well searched. They're being searched right now. Now I'm going to filter by star seller, and then up in the search bar, I'm going to change the word star to best. And this is our hack to get all the best sellers right here on the front page for us. And let's just take it in and notice some things. I see a lot of skeletons. You kind of want to skip the ads. It's going to be about every other line. I see cats, ghosts, cats with ghosts outfits on or sheets on, dogs, same thing. And the ghosts are kind of in a line across the shirts. More skeletons, more ghosts. Oh, Disney, we don't want to do anything Disney in our shop. Halloween Town, you don't want to do that. That's trademarked. That could wind up with you getting your shop shut down. So you want to stay away from stuff like that. Plenty of safe things to create. I'm noticing a lot of the ghosts are very retro looking, either with flowers or with a country western look. And then a lot of these dogs or cats dressed up as ghosts, and that's kind of placed along the shirt. All right, let's go up and put teacher Halloween shirts, since we noticed that auto-populated. And I'm going to do, once again, I'm going to filter by star seller, just so I could go up in the search bar, change the word star to best, and then we'll have all our best sellers right here on the front for us to do our market research with. There's another popular look with the checkered background, whether it be an orange checkered background or a black or white checkered background. We see that a lot. Another ghost with that retro look, and that's a fun teacher phrase. Here we've got trick or teach, another fun teacher phrase. And a lot of retro ghosts, or that 70s look. The ghosts there in a line across the shirt with words above and under. The retro rainbow there with the fall colors. This graphic here was right on Creative Fabrica. We will be heading over to Creative Fabrica soon for our graphics. But right now, we're just taking it in. Let's go in and put retro ghost shirt and see what comes up in the search results. A lot of the ghosts here in a line. Again, a lot of flowers, a lot of the retro look. Oh, let's go back and don't forget to do your star seller and change it to best sellers. So we're looking at all the best sellers and we're doing our market research on what is actually working, the best sellers. That's where we want to do our market research. All right, here we go. I see a pocket design there with our ghost. Let's click in. Yep, bestseller. There it is. Very retro. Let's go ghouls. We see our skeletons in a row there. Here are some more hippie or retro ghosts. This gives us a really good feel for what's working, and we're going to pull it into other niches, these looks. I'm definitely thinking doing some ghosts and maybe some cats. We're going to finish up this research using a cool feature in EverBee. Now that I've got some ideas in my head, I've got this retro ghost idea, I've got teacher shirts, and bringing that retro ghost look into the teacher niche. We are going to use EverBee to finish up this research, but we have seen enough just with our research that we're doing right here on Etsy to get us going. If you don't want to invest in a tool right now, you don't have to. You can just use Etsy itself to do your market research. I do like the extra data that I get with EverBee, and it helps me run my business more effectively. I'm using the growth plan with EverBee, but you can also do the Pro plan, which I think is $7.99 a month. I do have a link down below, or you can just Google it if you wanted to check them out. While we're together here on this video, I am going to share the data that I have access to with you. So the better decisions we make during the market research phase of our listing, the more likely we are to make sales and to have success. So use whatever is available to you to do your market research and just validate the market and make sure you're barking up the right tree, so to speak. I'm going to the keyword research tool here on EverBee. I've just typed in Halloween, and down below here, we're going to see the keywords are over here to the left. We've got volume as the next column there, and that is the amount of customers that are typing that keyword in each month. The competition is how many Etsy sellers have that, or how many listings have that keyword in their SEO or their search engine optimization, their phrases, their title, and their tags. If the keywords are getting cut off, you can just adjust it the way I just did there and pull the column out so that it's wider so you can see the entire phrase. And then over to the right is the keyword score. The keyword score is a value that they're attaching to that keyword, and it represents how searchable that listing is on the platform. So a higher score means a relatively high number of searches compared to the number of competitors. A lower score means a lower number of searches compared to the number of competitors. So why is this important? The key to success in SEO, or your titles and your tags, the search engine optimization phrases that you're using, isn't just about targeting popular keywords. For example, teacher shirts is super popular and has a score of 10, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. Lots of people are searching that phrase, but a lot of competitors are also using it, and it's very broad. Teacher shirts. Usually the broader terms, more competitors are using. Success can be easier to find if we also include phrases with the right combination of competition compared to search volume. Finding these keywords can bring us higher up in the search results and give us the best possible advantage over other sellers in terms of our listings getting found. I oftentimes don't worry too much about this because I'm really good at niching down, and usually niching down will kind of just naturally do this for you. But when you do know how to use tools to do the research, you can validate this. You can make sure that the volume to competition ratio is encouraging for where you're working. A higher score typically means it's easier to rank in the Etsy algorithm, and there is relatively high demand and lower competition, while a lower score like 0 or 10 typically means it's harder to rank in the Etsy algorithm, and there is relatively lower demand with higher competition. The ratio is not as promising. This example here is right from EverBee, and we've got yoga in the search bar, and those top 3 keywords, home decor yoga, yoga wall decoration, and yoga wall decor, all have 500 something in the volume of customers that are potentially typing that in each month. But then we see in competition, yoga wall decoration, the competitors, the amount of people on Etsy listing their items that are using that term is much lower than the other two, with 7,612 compared to around 60,000 and around 100,000 for the other two. So with the keyword score, that shoots that one up to 77, with the others staying at 5 and 9, showing us that yoga wall decoration might be a really good opportunity. We're going to apply this strategy as we look for opportunities with Halloween shirts. The opportunities are abundant. There is plenty of space for you to make Halloween sales this Q4. You just need to design in the right spaces and use the right mix of phrases in your titles and your tags to give you the best chance for success. Let's look for a couple of those opportunities. Here we've got cat Halloween shirts with a score of 30, which I thought was interesting and I'm going to keep in mind. We've got retro ghost shirt with a score of 60. We've got toward the top there, mystical mom gift with a score of 40, spell book with a score of 50, and twist the bones with a score of 40. I'd have to look into those and do a little more research to understand what those are all about. You also don't want to forget to check uspto.gov to make sure things aren't trademarked. Like, I'm wondering if twist the bones is from something. We've got witch spell tea there with a score of 30, so pretty decent. Here we have another, I'm just pulling the column out there so we can get the whole keyword. Here we have another, it's the third one down, cute cat lover witch with a score of 60. And then I know that down there, Lantern Brewing Co. and Magic Kid and Kitten have pretty big scores, but they also, the volume is pretty small. So I don't know that I would really spend a lot of time spinning my wheels there. I do see Retro Spooky Season with a score of 40, and that's got a healthy volume of searches with 581. We've got Spooky Cat Halloween shirt with a score of 30. Ghost Cat Halloween shirt with a score of 40. Retro Shirts Halloween with a score of 40. Kindergarten Halloween shirt with a score of 40 as well. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good about focusing on retro ghosts and pulling that idea over into the teacher niche. I am also liking the cats, and I think I might pull them over into the teacher niche as well. We started with our market research on Etsy, and then we polished it off with some EverBee stats, and now we are ready to design. We're going to go over to Creative Fabrica, and we're going to grab ourselves some groovy little ghosts and some cute little cats. Creative Fabrica is easily one of the most valuable tools that I use. I do suggest always going in there with a mission, like we have done the market research first. We are going over to Creative Fabrica knowing what's trending already. We know generally the type of ghost that we're looking for and the little cats that we're looking for dressed in like a sheet. We know what's trending, so we know what we're looking for. That's how you always want to approach Creative Fabrica. Otherwise, you'll get lost and be just looking at a bunch of designs that aren't necessarily trending on Etsy. I do have a link over to Creative Fabrica in the description of the video. So if you do want to check them out, feel free to use that link. And once you're there, you can type in the search bar. Retro Ghost is what I just typed in the search bar, and you'll see there's just so many options. We are going to make sure that we use graphics that are safe for POD usage, which means we can use them without making any changes to them. It just keeps us a little on the safer side. I'm going to take a minute. I am going to go ahead and download us a couple of cute retro ghost graphics that we can use. And then I'm going to go ahead and download us some cute black cats to use as well. We will need to upload these graphics into the design software that we're using. Today we're going to use Kittl. We are going to do one design using a template hack. The second design we're going to make from scratch. But before we get started, just give me a booyah down in the comments if you are feeling energized and ready to pump out the Halloween designs. That booyah is going to help me stay motivated too. I started listing my Halloween items last week. So we're in July, and I feel like I could have started a week or two prior to that. And I'm going to keep right on listing for the next 4 or 5 weeks. I've started a new project here on Kittl, and I'm going to that second icon there over to the left. It's templates. And we're just going to search through. I know that I want to write a phrase, and I want part of the phrase to be on the top, part of the phrase to be on the bottom. It's going to be a Halloween teacher shirt. And the phrase is going to be, "You can't scare me. I'm a kindergarten teacher, first grade teacher, second grade teacher." We'll be able to scale this design. So now I'm going to take a closer look. I'm typing Halloween there in the t-shirt templates just to, kind of see what kind of fonts they're using. If there's a template that I like that I can use. I'm not going to be using their graphic. I'm going to put my own graphic. But if I could find the layout that I want, then that could save me a couple steps. Okay, so I like this rounded text at the top. That skeleton is way too scary for elementary school teachers. We're not going to be leaving it. I do like this kind of Halloween-y text. So I'm writing, "You can't scare me." And it's already curved because the template already has it curved for us. And at the bottom, I'm going to write, "I'm a first grade teacher." And we could scale this out to all the grade levels. I would do kindergarten through 8th grade, and then I would do subjects like history teacher or math teacher. I did recently create a resource for people who are looking to build out the teacher niche with a calendar of important dates, important things that teachers like to wear shirts for, giftable times where a lot of people are buying teachers gifts. It's a very profitable niche to be in. So if you have any interest in building out that niche, I will have that linked down in the description below. Now back to our design, and we need to make this a lot bigger. I want it to really go across the whole bottom of the page and take up the entire space. So I'm going over here to where you see that large T and that small T, and I'm just blowing it up as big as I can and positioning it where I think it goes. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these layers. Now sometimes I'll use parts of the layers in, when I'm using a template like this, but I didn't want any of that. We're going to go in and use our ghosts. And just real quick, I'll show you how I uploaded the images from Creative Fabrica into Kittl. Right here, this symbol here, uploads, we would click on that. And then all I did was dragged and dropped them right into Kittl, one at a time. And now all of those images are there for us to use as we're designing. Mr. Tucker is not going to let us get back to the lesson until I help him out over here. Aha, there's the culprit. He wants this little ducky. All right, let's give him a little ducky and then let's get back to it. Now we can choose the ghost we want to use. I think I'm going to use this one. It's got some nice flowers in there. A lot of elementary school teachers are female. If I go ahead and scale this out to subjects for like the high school teachers, I might change the ghost to a more gender neutral ghost. But I'm liking this to get us started here. So I totally am losing. I have this black background right now. I'll get rid of that before I download this. But the bats are totally lost. So I was thinking of putting this on a black shirt, which means I need to now either change the color of the bats or do something like put a background on them. So over here to the right, I'm going to put a shadow on my image here. And I need the shadow to be white. Right now I have a shadow and I'm playing with a black shadow. That's not doing us any good. I'm using the dropper so I can grab the white of the ghost. And now I can play with these three little levers here. So I can change the angle and I can change the blur. And I'm liking that I have the white shadow. I'm going to move everything up a bit so I have a little more space. But I still need to mess with this shadow because it's just, everything kind of got lost in there. Now I've played with my little toggles a bit. I'm not quite getting the look that I was hoping for. So I'm going to go back into the object shadow. I've got these 4 different options up here and I'm just clicking through the boxes. Ooh, I like that a lot better. Kind of a glow around my bats and my moon. And I'm liking that. I'd like to change the color of the text. I like to pull in the colors of the graphic that I'm working with. So since I am thinking, obviously with these flowers, this is going to be more for a female teacher. And I think it's something like close to 80% of teachers, elementary school teachers, are female. So all these elementary school grades, I'm pretty comfortable with my flower design here, that it's got a good chance of selling. I'm pulling in that peach from one of the flowers. I'm feeling good about this design and I need to go ahead and remove any texture. So I'm in the layers. That layers button is at the bottom of the right hand side. Where it says layers, that's where I can get into that. I can remove the background here. I can take the texture down so that there's no more texture. I'm kind of playing with it here so you can see what it's doing. So now I've got the texture and the background gone. When you see the gray squares there, you know you've got a transparent background. That will not show up on your shirt. I'm going to go ahead and download this. You want to make sure the DPI is at 150. That's over there to the right hand side. I'll show you real quick what this looks like when we upload it over in Printful. Here I have Printful here. If I don't have at least a DPI of 150, I'll get an alert from Printful letting me know that the file isn't, as good as it could be. So I've gone ahead and just dragged and dropped the image onto my shirt. And I know that the image is good because I see over to the left that it's green. It says print quality is good. And my image should print really pretty like that on the shirt. And just real quick, I'll show you this other design that I put together real quick with another ghost. I got a book and a pencil and just laid it right there on top of the ghost to teacher her up a bit. And I did the blur effect with the wording instead. And just always being mindful of the market research. That look is very popular. I've seen lots of shirts and lots of niches, but especially in the teacher niche, I've noticed it, where there's a word with the wispy flowers popping up. So to have a ghost with the wispy flowers popping up behind him is a great thing to try out. And now we're gonna go in a fun direction with those little kitty cats. So we saw some nice results in the market research that we did on Etsy, a lot of bestsellers with the little kitty cats, especially in a row. We also saw when we went into EverBee that research was validated with some higher scores, leading us to believe this is a good try. It's a good stab to take. So let's have a little fun and make one more design. Before we do, if you are finding value in this video and you feel like I earned a little like, I'd so appreciate you taking a second to like this video or subscribe if you are not yet subscribed to the channel and you don't want to miss future content. We already have our cute little kitty cats over in our Kittle uploads over here. So I'm going off of the concept there we kept seeing with the cats in the ghost costumes. There were dogs in the ghost costumes also. And I'm going, and they were, in a line right across. I'm sorry, I'm distracted because I just thought of the cutest Tucker take. Just wait for it. Just wait for it, guys. I want to get done designing now so I can go do the Tucker take. Okay, so we're going to take our kitty cats and we're going to line them up 5 in a row right across the screen. I'm just pulling them over and, messing with the size. That's pretty easy to do here. We're not using a template. We've just kind of got in mind that design that's been working. Again, we're going to pull this. We're going to make it different though. We don't want it to be like everybody else's. We're going to pull it over into the teacher niche and we're going to put a fun phrase with it. So I've gone ahead and added the grid lines here just to help me get everything nice and centered, nice and even. And now I want to do kind of a mirror image on the other side. So I just did copy paste. So I selected the cat, I did Command C, Command V, and I pulled him over to where I want him. Now I want to flip him. And I got to that menu by right-clicking. I'm on a Mac, so for me, that means I pressed Control, right-click, and then this menu pops up, and I'm able to flip him so he is facing the other way. I'm going to do the same thing with this last kitty cat here, so it's real symmetrical. Copy and then paste, so Command C, Command V. And now I'm going to go Control right click so that I can get to that menu where I'm able to flip him. Now I'll just take a moment to make sure that they're looking centered and spaced out the way I want them to look. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add our text. I need a bit more space at the top, so I'm just going to select all of them by dragging my cursor over them, and then I'm able to move them all as one. So I'll move them down a bit so I have more space. Now I'm going to go pick a font, and I picked headline, and now I'm just taking a minute to look through the fonts. I'm choosing this one. I don't really know how to say it. It was that second one there. It's long and skinny. And I'm going to type out a fun pun, and now we'll blow it up So kind of going with the idea of you can't scare me, but we're doing kitty cats now. You can't creep me out will be the top, and then the bottom part will be the scalable phrase that will kind of just go back and forth with the different grade levels or subject areas for the teachers or staff positions for the school. So I did copy and paste, and now we're just going to put I'm a first grade teacher, and of course that's the scalable part. With all of those different things. And this could actually be branched out now to all the different nurses or different professions or different sports players. You could do a whole lot with this, but we're focusing on the teacher niche right now. So at first I would be working on that. You can't creep me out. I'm a first grade teacher. I love it, guys. It's super cute. I just have too much fun with the puns. I could spend all afternoon doing research on puns and finding fun ways to mix them with design elements that I'm seeing are trending. I'm going to go ahead and leave this design and the other design we did down in the comments below as a free download. You can download it and use it as you please. Maybe branch this out to some other things. Unbelievable! We are already done with our 2 designs that can now be easily scaled out to 50, even 100 different listings. Another direction you could go with the ghost or the cat, if you decide to, let's say, do a hairdresser or a realtor, you could put keys in their hands or scissors in their hands to further customize it toward that profession. Do me a favor, head down to the comments and give me a booyah if you are ready to design for Halloween. I'll see you in this video, but not until after that tip from Tucker. Tucker, take it away!